That meant to be London.
Yeah, I'm Fiona. I think I come across as one of those people, you know, the ones that have got the live, laugh, love signs in their house? Yeah, I don't. It's tattooed on my ribs. No, because I'm not naturally like a positive person. I've done loads of self-help. Give me a cheer if you've done any self-help. It's not enough people, is it? What's going on in the room? Too much confidence or a lack of self-awareness? No, I did self-help to sort of become my best self. Ta-da! I was disappointed as well. Fuck you. No, I did mindfulness. That's the one where you breathe in for 4 and you breathe out for 4, and that just gives people a chance to get away from you before you lose your shit. But my friend Kirsty, she got into spirituality, right? If you don't know what that is, that's where you've done all the self-help on this planet and then you just fuck off to another realm, right? She's into that, and she used to give me loads of advice, right? And she used to say to me, when I was single, she'd say to me, she was like, you don't need to go on like dating websites, you don't need to go to bars. She was like, what you need to do is you get these little crystals, right? Magic crystals, yeah? And she said, put them in your bra, and she said, that's going to attract a man. Yeah, do you know what scares off a man? When you take your bra off, a load of pebbles fall out. Because I did it, like I had so many crystals in my room, I could have strapped on a harness and gone bouldering in there. It got completely out of hand. And then my friend Claire, she was into, she was a bit like a sort of a kids' TV presenter, right? She was into toxic positivity. No, I found that out because I said to her, I was like, oh, I'm 30-odd, I'm single, it's all gone a bit wrong, right? It was a bit negative. And she was like, oh my God, yeah, babe, but life, it can change like that, can't it? It can change like that, which is such a nice, positive way to look at life, unless I said that to her. Because she's like, everything's going well, I'm going to move in with John. And I'm like, yeah, babe, it could change like that, couldn't it? It could change like that. No, but I did take their advice. I did this thing, I had a vision board, right? That's where you cut out pictures of your sort of hopes and dreams for the future. You stick it on a board, you stare at it, you do fuck all work towards it, the universe is going to bring that to you. Yeah, I had a flat on mine. Boyfriend just happened to live in it. No, I got a boyfriend. He's very nice. He's made me question what romance is, right? Because I used to think romance was candlelight dinners and things like that. But now romance is when I get the smart meter under a £5. Like I got it under a £5 the other day, and he went, I bloody love you. Like there is candlelight in the flat. It's because he won't let me put the lights on. I was in the shower, he walked in, I thought, oh yeah, it's just to turn it off. But he did this thing, he did this nice thing, he bought me a very nice necklace, a very expensive necklace, Hackney, a very expensive necklace. How do we know it was very expensive? Because every time he mentions it, he says, I bought you that very expensive necklace. Do you remember when I bought you that very expensive necklace? Right? And then he started doing this thing. So we got a cab, and he said to me, he went, oh, are you going to pay for the cab? Because I bought you that very expensive necklace. Went for a curry, he was like, are you paying for that? Because I bought that very expensive necklace. Basically, he is clawing back the money in instalments. I am dating the human equivalent of Klarna pay. I reckon by the end of the year, he'll have his money back plus interest. But the relationship, I think when you get older, when you're older, the relationship progresses quite quickly. It sort of changes quite quickly. So do you remember at the start of a relationship, you know, the one where you sort of, you send like sexy underwear pictures? Oh, you're all looking at me like I'm a big old slut, but some of you are definitely doing that. No, you know when you send the sexy underwear pictures, the one where you can't put your head in it because you don't know if the relationship will last, you don't know where they'll end up. Yeah, remember them? So maybe I used to send Matthew the odd sexy picture, right? But then I started doing something called Herbalife. Do we know what this is? It's basically like this weight loss, it's basically like a cult, unless any of you work for them, it's a multi-level management scheme. Right? And what Herbalife say to you is they're like, right, what we want you to do is if you drink our protein shakes, you will lose weight. You will lose weight. But they're like, don't get on the scales. Don't look at the scales. That won't help you. Don't get on the scales. They're like, what you need to do is you need to take pictures of yourself. So Matthew's phone went very quickly from like, sexy underwear picture. Do you know these ones? ones where you've got to hold out your hands to prove you haven't got any chocolate bars behind your back, you know those. And you still have to cut the head off because you look so sad. But we moved in together really quite quickly. And I think when you live with anyone, you argue, right? Like I used to live with my mum and we'd argue because she wouldn't get rid of the landline phone, which would be fine if she didn't enter radio competitions. Because every time I called her, she was just like that, make me a winner. I don't know if you've ever been disappointed that your child's not £10,000, but that's what she did. But me and Matt argue a little bit, right? Because he does this thing. He's the only person I know who's ever done this, right? Every time he uses the kettle, he turns it off, empties it, and puts it in a cupboard. Every time, right? There is a chance I'm dating a psychopath. And even if he's not a psychopath, there's still a chance I will go missing because I'll just come home one day, he'll put me in a cupboard and forget which cupboard he's put me in, right? And then the police will come round and they'll be like, oh, God, like, where is she? She's been missing so long. Have you got any pictures? All these decapitated ones. Innocent. But no, we spoke about kids really early on in our relationship, like at first date, actually. Told him my egg count. Yeah, it's a bit much. Not my egg count, just tell him that on the first date. No, the reason I told him that is because I'd been for a fertility test the week before our first date, right? And I'd got the results the day of the first date. Now, the reason I went for a fertility test is because I'm sort of a woman of a certain age. I wanted to know, what was happening. Also, two, I'd been for a smear test before and I thought nothing could be as embarrassing as how that had gone, right? Because I went for this smear test, it was sort of the bit after where the doctor's got this wand thing, right? And he was sort of doing this, right? Sorry, I'm just staring at you. You are playing the part of my vagina here, but cool. That's why that was awkward. So he's sort of doing this, right? And I said to him, I went, oh, is everything all right? Because I think at some point I might quite like to have children. And he picked up and he went, but you've already had children. Guys, I'm going to be honest, I've been drunk, I've never lost 9 months. Like, I absolutely don't have children. I said to him, I was like, I don't know why that looks lived in. Why does it look like a 2 up, 2 down? That's got to be squatters, right? So anyway, I thought after that, nothing could be as embarrassing. So I went for this fertility test, same sort of thing, different doctor. He's got his wand, he's in there. According to the last one, he's just doing that, isn't he? Just in my wizard sleeve. It's too much, isn't it? Right, anyway. So he's doing that, and then he just went like this. He went... That was the noise he made. Honestly, turned my vagina into a wind tunnel. So he went... And it went... Obviously not. Some of them are jokes. No, and I said to him, I went, bloody hell, is everything all right? And he went... At that point, I thought, oh my God, is that the air coming back out? Like, I thought I was going to start flying around the room like a leaky balloon. I said to him, I went, is everything all right? And he went, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure that you might have 2 wombs. Yeah, thank you. That was my reaction. Because I didn't know that was a thing. Men in the room, if you can't relate to that, you really shouldn't be able to relate to that. No, that's like you going for your prostate exam and them going, oh, this finger, which arsehole would you like it in? Because I didn't know it was a thing. Like, I thought you went out and sort of went there and found out sort of like how many eggs you had, all that sort of stuff. I didn't know you'd go there and find out you could be making £500 on sparewomb.com. It's like a womb with a view. What's the view? Oh, it's just another womb, right? So I said to him, I went, bloody hell, I was like, is that normal? And he went, no. No, he went, well, he said, it's not normal, he said, but it's not as uncommon as you'd think, right? He said, it's about 1 in every 3,000. He said, but what we'll do, we'll get my colleague Linda in for a second opinion. She's been in the business 15 years. She's seen everything. Linda tottered in. She had a little look. She went, oh, yeah, I have seen this. In a documentary. She wasn't even specific about which kind of documentary. Like, it could be one born every minute. It could be David Attenborough. We don't know. Right, but the thing is, people don't ask what you'd think they'd ask when you tell them. So I told my friend Kirsty, I said to her, oh, they think I've got this birth defect thing where I've got 2 wombs. She went, oh my God, babe, does this mean that you'll be able to have 2 babies by 2 different men at the same time? I was like, oh, I don't know, Kirst, wasn't a question I asked. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm sorry, doctor, I don't know what the medical term is, but could I possibly slag it up? My mum's was my favourite reaction, though. Picked up the phone, called her. Do you know what she said? Make me a winner.